Hey everyone, I'm the one-winged movie man, or just call me Akbar, with my very first countdown. Gaming is really supposed to be entertaining, and a part of the entertainment of a game is usually funny characters. They really light up the mood for us, no matter if they use direct humor, subtle humor, or chaotic humor, or just out there. Now, keep in mind that this list is only opinion based, so if you disagree with my choices, that is perfectly fine with me. I'm going to be judging upon how the character's humor is played out and how much I enjoy the character for the things that the character delivers. And please keep in mind that I'm not from any English-speaking country, but with that said, I'll try my best anyhow. With that said, hit play! It might not be the best characters to start out with, but here he is, Kefka Palazzo. Now, before you start writing comments about this, please hear me out. The type of humor that Kefka uses is mostly just jokes that actually helps on tell us something about his personality. He's a psycho. The jokes that he uses is mostly about other people's suffering, but unlike other stand-up comedians, his jokes are mostly directly cruel, especially because that he actually means them. But Kefka gets to number 10 because of his jokes and enjoyment, but also because he recalls all the emotions in me, which is hard to sort all together. But he's still funny, but just hope that there ain't any jokes on you.
Fatality!
Yes, these guys is crazy, but with much crazier weapons. Their voices, all of their voices makes me smile and include weapons such as the super sheep, the banana bomb and the donkey. I can go lol for the rest of the time. Every time a bomb goes off, all you can hear is a cute, innocent voice. And it is right after the biggest killing spree ever. They are terrible beings, and we love them for that. Despite humor is played straight in our faces, humor can also be subtle. My example here is the Prince of Persia from Sands of Time. His humor is just very subtle in the way that the funny parts only are intervened with the storytelling prince and his monologue throughout the game.
I'll cover you.
Please don't. You're liable to hit me. I am risking my life for her again. But why? Good question. Oh, have you been waiting here all this time? I didn't realize you meant these baths. I went to the other baths, clear across the other side of the city. I had a lovely wash and a rub with fragrant oils. Too bad you weren't there. Stop talking to yourself!
While his humor is so subtle, it still tells us about the situation, thoughts and relationships that the prince has. He really uses the humor like most people would, which actually make me a little more connected to him. Please don't misunderstand this. These guys are just hilarious. The humor is just plain random with any given situation. They pull a random mountain out of nowhere and make the iconic scream, and that's all they do. By time, however, it can get a little boring and I kinda want to see something new, but after a while I can just watch these guys and I keep on ruffling. Even though they're just as deep as 1 inch hole, they still can make one laugh their arse off. But when they can't be deep, tell me, what would you get if you had a character with the charm and personality of James Bond but the appearance of an animal? Sly Cooper. Not only is his design funny as hell, but his charm is something right out of the classic James Bond movies. His charm is played directly with his interactions with everyone, Sly and Bentley, Sly and Murray, Sly and Carmelita, etc, etc. Even though the humor and jokes are rather subtle, they are still there, and that makes me just have a good time every time I play the games. But just like Sly Cooper, just the design of this character is funny. I mean, come on! A flying penguin with a military helmet and rocket launchers on its shoulders. What is not hilarious about that? Sergeant Bird was adopted by hummingbirds as a soldier who taught him to fly, and as he became a sergeant, their military tried an experiment on him where they installed rocket launchers on his shoulders. He's really one of my favorite of the Spyro characters because of his mobility, ranged attacks and personality. He sounds and acts like a serious stereotypical soldier. Every time I went to the Enchanted Towers, I immediately switched to Sergeant Bird because of it. He even got a role in A Hero's Tale, even though I hate that game.
Flame shield up.
The part of Year of the Dragon where I really felt like a joke of the image was the Sergeant Bird mission in Charmed Witch, where they gave him a romance with a fairy. Still, Sergeant Bird is one of my favorite characters by the fun I have with him, and I will always return and play Year of the Dragon just because of Sergeant Bird.
Stop squirming and die like an adult or I'm going to delete your backup.
Yeah, Gladys is on this list. Its lines are so illogical and diabolical that we can't do anything else but laugh. Most of the quotes from the game are just funny, and I'm having a good time hearing Gladys ramble throughout the entire game.
In the event that the weighted companion cube does speak, the Enrichment Center urges you to disregard its advice.
Despite the fact that Gladys have tried to kill me more than twice, I still laugh at its quotes.
Do you want to marry it? Well, I won't let you. How does that feel?
Even its weak spots are either weird or funny. My favorites are the curiosity sphere.
Who are you? What is that? Oh, what's that? What's that?
And the cake sphere.
Don't forget garnishes such as fish-shaped crackers, fish-shaped candies, fish-shaped solid waste, fish-shaped volatile, organic compounds, and sediment-shaped sediment.
Even though Gladys is insane and diabolical as hell, I still find it amusing. While we are talking about illogically insane characters, Fawful is a really crazy schemer, but he is funny as hell. He makes quick comedic responses to everything tossed at him. A lot of his quotes are just funny legends, His design itself is hilarious. The glasses and the wide grin really looks like a Dr. Insano clone. Also, his many costumes make him look more hilarious than he already is. But there are still 2 spots left on this list. Sorry, Farfall. This spot is actually a tie between 2 characters from the same franchise who are hilarious together. It is Martial Law and Paul Phoenix. These 2, I have loved these 2 since I started playing Tekken for the first time. Law is a very stereotypical Chinese fighter pulled right off Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. He's despicable, cartoony, cowardly, and likes to show off. He only fights in the Iron Fist tournament so that he can afford his restaurant. And Paul Phoenix is a stereotypical American biker ripped directly from, who again?
1, 2, 3, yeah! Baby! Sassy! Dudley! Oh! Check the packs! Man, I'm pretty!
No, I'm blank. But he's more of a show-off than even Law, and likes to brag even more. He simply lives for either fighting and or his bike, and he's just as cartoony as Law is. So when you put these 2 together, it cracks me up. Every time I see a scene with these 2, I can't stop laughing. However, the reason why these 2 are not number 1 is that the relation and act between these 2 crack me up, where number 1 can do it alone.
Yeah, whatever.
Sandwich and me going to beat your ass.
Ah, Harry. There's not much to him in gameplay. He's slow and big. He's basically a tank. But the thing he says and the way he says them cracks me up every time.
Uh-oh, I think someone soiled diaper. Now it's coward killing time! We send itsy bitsy cart back home! You are dead. Not a big surprise.
It might be cool to say, but one of my favorite weapons in gaming are the Gatling gun. Because there can be put so much violence, rage and passion into the use of it. And the Harry shows that. The Harry gets easily passionate about what he does, and that passion and fun immediately affects me. So I have a fun time using the heavy. Also, the sandwich is funny to run around with. Also a great idea as a status item.
Don't run! It's just ham!
So, in a nutshell, Harry's voice, his quotes, the sandwich, and his passion is what makes Harry my funniest character in gaming.
What's that? This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you